Hi readers, or should I say nonfiction readers. Today we're going to be reading expository or nonfiction texts. And it's really important that when we're reading expository texts that we're able to stop and pause and identify the main idea and the supporting details of small sections of text as we're reading. And that's really important because that's going to help us to make sure that we're remembering and we're able to summarize the important information in a text. So today, to do this, we are going to be using a strategy that's going to help us to organize information as we're reading nonfiction. And the strategy that we're going to use today is called boxes and bullets. It's called boxes and bullets because simply in your reading notebook, you would draw a box, and in the top rectangle, you would identify your main idea, which is going to be what the text is mostly about. And we're going to talk about how we can kind of look for a pop-out sentence that might help us to figure out what the main idea is. And then under our main idea in our box, we're going to bullet or use little dots in order to identify some supporting details. Details that tell us more about the main idea. They help us to kind of visualize what's going on in your mind to help you better understand a topic. And a lot of times if you're able to find the pop-out sentence, the supporting details will come right after that. So here is an example of what a box and bullets organizer might look like. All right, let's give it a try with the article that we're going to read today. So the article that we're going to read today is connected to our story, Tuesday of the Other June, and this is a nonfiction article about bullying. So the first thing that you need to do as nonfiction readers that we learned in 2nd and 3rd grade is we need to stop and we need to preview the text. So when I preview this text, looking at my titles, Bystanders Who Stand Together. And as I keep previewing, I notice that there are a lot of vocabulary words. Some of the vocabulary words are bolded, and the word bystanders, which is also in the title, so that must be really important, is also highlighted. I also noticed that at the bottom of the first page, we have a footnote, and that gives us all of our bolded and highlighted words as well as their definitions. Looking onto the other pages, I see that there are photographs, there are captions, there's even a graph of some information. As well, I see that our text is broken into sections, and I know that because I see the headings. So that's going to be really helpful today because when we are reading a nonfiction text, it's really important as readers that we kind of chunk it and read a little bit and we stop and we think about what is the main idea of what we read. I want you to think of your hand, the main idea, and then your fingers are like the supporting details. And it's important that you just stop and you pause and you think about the main ideas and you think about the details and you box and bullet the information in your notebook so that when the article is finished, you have all the important information that you need to know. So let's go ahead and look at this very first page. And I'm going to kind of chunk it there. Bullies seem to be all around us. According to the U.S. government, 70% of young people have seen someone being bullied. 41% say they witness bullying once a week or more. About 1 in 3 students reports that they have been bullied. Another 1 in 3 students admits to bullying others. So I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to pause. And I'm going to get my page ready in my notebook. So I'm going to open up to a clean page and I'm going to have my article next to me. And I'm going to put a title. I'm going to call it Bystanders Article, and I might even put today's date. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my rectangle. And I'm going to think about this particular section of text that I've kind of boxed in green there. And when I read that article, I'm going to stop and I'm going to think about the main idea. And so when I was reading that, I look at the very first sentence, bullies seem to be all around us. Well, that seems to be a pop-out sentence to me. That tells me that the main idea is bullying is common. It happens often. And so then I'm going to go back and I'm going to see if I can find at least 3 supporting details that support the fact that bullying is common and it happens often. And I see that 70% of young people have seen someone being bullied. Another fact or another supporting detail is that 41% witness bullying on a weekly basis. And then in the last part of that paragraph, it says that 1/3 of students say that they have either been bullied or they have bullied someone. So all of those supporting details support our main idea that bullying happens a lot. It's common. It's a problem. And so that's an important main idea that I need to hold on to and I need to remember. All right, I'm going to keep reading. We hear a lot about bullying these days, but what is bullying really? Isn't it just about physical violence? Bullying is any form of repeated aggressive behavior. It can involve hurtful words, spreading rumors, embarrassing someone, or harassing someone online. So I could even stop right there if you wanted to go paragraph by paragraph, and I could stop and think of my hand. And I could say, okay, bullying is any form of aggressive behavior. And then our supporting details would be hurtful words, spreading rumors, embarrassing someone, harassing someone online. So quickly, that's how I can read, think of my hand, main idea detail, and some details. Let's move on to another section of the text, our second page. Continue reading. Give me the done sign or the okay sign once you have finished reading the second page. I'll give you 10 more seconds. All right, so for this next one, again, I'm going to create my box in my notebook, and I'm going to focus on the paragraph that talks about bystanders have the power to stop bullying. That's an important main idea that we get from reading that second paragraph on this page. It says, people commonly bully others to feel powerful. The real power, though, belongs to a different group, the witnesses known as bystanders. So right away, that's a pop-out sentence. I read that, and right away my brain says, that's important. Bystanders have the power to stop bullying. My first supporting detail is that it can be scary to get involved. It takes courage to stand up for someone, but doing what is right is more important than doing what's easy. And so all of those details support the fact that bystanders have the power to stop bullying, but yeah, it's scary. I can picture that. We can picture that it takes courage and bravery to stand up to someone. And then we know that as a bystander getting involved, that is the right thing rather than sitting back and watching someone getting bullied. Okay? And I got all of that just from that pop-out sentence, and then all of my supporting details came from the sentences after our pop-out sentence. So now it's your turn. You're going to keep reading the article, and as you read, I'm going to ask you to chunk the text. Use the headings to help you. So maybe read one section of text that's under a heading, and I want you to pause. I want you to think about the main idea and the details, and then create a box and bullets in your notebook. You're going to finish doing that for the rest of the article, and then you're going to return back to the It's Learning page to see how I'm going to take the boxes and bullets, and I'm going to use them to make a great summary, and then you'll have the opportunity to do the same. All right, readers, off you go.